Hello and welcome to the very first Game Centre podcast. My name is Michael Cooper. Today I'm joined by Kieran Gilliam.
Hello.
I'm also joined by MCV's very first Store Manager of the Year, Mr. Craig Kennedy.
Hey folks.
The reason I mention MCV is because last Friday, Game Centre won the UK's best independent retailer for an unprecedented fifth time.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad at all.
5 times.
Yeah, 5 times. So we get to keep it. So we've decided to make a bit of a podcast. We want to interact with you guys on a social level. You come into our stores, we talk to you. We love it when you do that. And we want to get into your homes as well. Not in a through the bathroom window kind of way, but...
Bathroom window?
Yeah, you know what I mean. But we just want to be like through like YouTube, and we're going to be downloaded and stuff as well. So that's why we're doing a podcast
Cool.
to more interaction with you guys, because it's always good fun. So we've got a few things I want to talk about, but first I want to talk about what you guys are playing.
Division.
Yeah, it's Division. Division's the right answer.
Not really slept up till 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning.
You look like you've slept for a good few days, man.
Yeah.
It was a good one yesterday. Stayed up till 2 in the morning on Tuesday night, and then I got a phone call in the morning like, "Can you come in and cover and come work?" I was like, "Ah!"
Oofed.
Yeah, it was absolutely fine. But yeah, Division's awesome. That's all I've been playing. How about yourself, Michael?
I haven't been. Well, I haven't played the Division yet. That's on my to-do list. I've actually gone through the Last of Us, the remastered version on the PS4. That's been holding my, and I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. I never really got around to it much on the PS3. And I feel it needs a remaster. It's weird though, because you've got to have a lot of time to play it. You can't just pick up and play the Last of Us.
Like, as I've said before, like I really liked the intro to the game, and then after that I just kind of lost interest, and I've never really finished it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Craig, will you?
Division.
That is, isn't it?
What
Division. Oh, like I only started it like the other day. I didn't get it at launch. Only started the other day. Went to about level 12 or so. I'm the type of guy that sort of picks it up and ignores the story mode though. And I'm just like, let's go explore and see what the whole of Manhattan's up to. Do you know what I mean? So. I was more, let's look under every nook and cranny and do all the side missions and stuff like that. So I'm now slowly starting to work my way through the story quests.
I've done almost all of the side missions I think on the map. I'm level 27 so far, and I've got most of the wings, kind of like the wings in the base of operations thing.
Yeah.
I've got 2 of those at 70% and 1 at 90.
That's nuts. They're within about 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
You've definitely no slept then.
I was going to say.
Yeah, absolutely having it. It's awesome.
What's the character customization like when you start it? I mean, is it like the
Funny,
like the beta?
Funny you should mention it. It is sort of like the beta, which I was kind of disappointed by, because I felt like there's not much chance for a lot of the people that are kind of more taken by the kind of RPG aspect of the game. There's not much chance to kind of make the character your own. It's more just kind of like 6 preset faces that you can move
Generics,
through.
yeah.
One of them looks sort of like Liam Neeson. So
Right.
See, I quite like that though, because like, I know Ubisoft apparently did say like after the beta, don't worry, there'll be more customization like in the obviously the full version, but obviously they've kept it to like the generic preset 6, the faces and stuff. But I actually quite like that. I don't really enjoy the whole aspect of starting my game up and I've got to spend like an hour and a half generating a character. I would rather just press X for random and get right in about the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
sometimes I do. What I really didn't like about it was the fact that, see, if you pick sunglasses at the character creation, you can't then later on decide I don't want sunglasses.
Oh, really?
on anymore.
Right.
So
Yeah.
It's- you're
If you
stuck
put
with them.
sunglasses on your character during the creation, you're stuck with sunglasses no
Yeah.
matter how dark it gets.
Bad times.
Which means if you go inside, you're going to look like a bit of an idiot.
Right.
Yeah.
How close was the beta to the finished version? I mean,
Very close. There's not much change that I can see anyway.
I think I've worded that wrong with regards to the story. I mean, see, like the part with Lau.
Alright, cool.
Yeah.
So it starts...
Because what I really want to is see how there's a point where she asks you to look for a sister.
Yeah,
because
for Heather Low.
That's it. Because I couldn't find her. See, the first echo you get, that carries on, but I didn't know how to do that.
It's the same. Those missions are there, though I haven't touched them in the full game.
Yeah.
But in kind of introduction to the game, it starts off and you're not actually in Manhattan. You're in Brooklyn. So yeah.
Right.
And it acts as sort of an introductory kind of tutorial to the world and how the mechanics of the game work, cover, shooting and whatnot. Which, if you've played, say, Gears of War or whatnot, you'll kind of understand what's going on. It's not
very much so.
incredibly difficult to pick up. It was kind of close to that, and it is actually brilliant. Like, I didn't expect to enjoy the gameplay as much as I am, and I think it's pretty.
The weapon development and the the add-ons and stuff like that, the whole leveling system of the weapons is absolutely super crazy about how in depth and stuff you can go, like in your crafting table and stuff like that. It's quite insane, like actual how in depth the customization is to that extent. Do you know what I mean? So they've done well with that.
Yeah, there's like so many different mods and whatnot you can put on your weapons to kind of increase the damage that they'll do, and as well as that, you've got these consumable items, which I didn't realise until like level 25 or something. You can like put on incendiary bullets and stuff, and kind of set your enemies on fire if you really want to, which is really helpful in certain situations, because a lot of the times, like, someone asked me, I think it was yesterday, what I thought of it, and one of the things that I mentioned to them was the fact that it is not an easy game. Like, it's challenging, especially if you're playing it on your own. Like, I wouldn't expect to go in on your own and finish the game. It's very much a kind of social experience, and like, you kind of need other people around to do it.
Graphically, the beta was lovely. Is it still carry? I mean, there's games that are sometimes get worse.
Downscaled and stuff, and then people kick up. All sorts about them.
Actually, you showed me a photo before of a guy's apartment block in Manhattan. Is it Manhattan?
Yeah.
And in the game and in real life.
It was a Reddit post that I saw. It must have been yesterday. And it was basically this guy that had gone around Manhattan taking pictures and finding the same locations in the Division, which is just incredible. Like, the kind of accuracy of the game to the real world is insane. And as well, if you're looking at it from a distance and you can't see the kind of HUD and whatnot on the screen, you would actually, I would forgive you for mistaking it for being the real thing.
The likeness is pretty good. I mean, graphically the game looks like an upgraded Watch Dogs visual, if you like. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, almost running the same sort of engine and stuff like that, but no, the game visually looks really good. Really good.
The thing that I was always kind of impressed with when I was playing it is the lighting in it.
Oh yeah,
everything just looks absolutely amazing.
Obviously, like at the start of the game, obviously you get your presets to adjust your brightness so that this logo barely appears. Now, me being me into my horror games and stuff, the first thing I do is turn it almost full. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't want scared in the dark, so I'm turning it all the way up. So I made that mistake. I turned the brightness up quite a lot on it, and put it on. I was like, oh, this doesn't look good at all. But when I dialed the brightness down, it made such a big difference. It made the game look a lot sharper. So
the crafting thing that interests me. How in depth are we talking?
Well, see, before you go into the crafting, Mick from our Clydebank store, I was talking to him today, and he's been playing the Division in depth as well, and he gave me a tip today, and a tip for everyone else is all your items that you're going to get rid of, don't sell them.
Yeah, don't sell anything.
Don't sell anything. Dismantle everything, because you get fibres from everything that you dismantle. And obviously your fibres are then there to create better and further weapons and stuff like that. So
the other interesting thing is, even though basically all the crafting materials have their own level as well, so it's like green, I can't remember the specific names, but it's like green, blue, purple and yellow, sort of similar to Destiny, Diablo, all those other games that use the same kind of scheme. But basically what you can do is trade your green parts for blue parts at a cost. So it's like 5 green parts can become a blue part, 5 blue parts and something else can become the purple one, and then it's something else to get the yellow one. I thought that was really cool, because it means that even if you start at a low level and you're the kind of person that's like, oh, I'm not going to waste my resources just now, I'm going to wait till level 30 to get all the end game gear, what you can do then is just save up all of your parts, and even if you have a ton of green parts or whatnot, you can always upgrade them and advance them so that they're always relevant.
So what's the level cap that we're at? What is
30.
it? Is it
30
30?
is the level cap, yeah.
Well, you're not even that far away then.
No, I'm not. I'm about 3 levels off just now, and then other than that, I'll just be running about in the dark zone, trying to get myself maxed out on high-end gear. I've saw a couple of people that have done it already, and some of the high-end gear is really quite interesting, and the amount of damage that some of the stuff does in scale to kind of, even what I've got just now is absolutely insane.
Because I know that would obviously frustrate quite a few people going to pick up a Tom Clancy game, is how bullet spongy in those air quotes that you fling out there. Do you know what I mean? And like you're not just headshotting a guy and he's down. You're emptying a proper clip into him before you're going, you're down now. Do you know what I mean? So
I think that's kind of. I was talking to a guy earlier when I was playing. Actually, it was a guy from the Caribbean, but he was saying that he hated the fact that it took multiple headshots to put someone down. But I think that's more to do with kind of the style of game that it is. Like, it's closer to an MMO.
Rather than an actual original Tom Clancy game as such. Do you know what I mean? So
it's actually, I think it's closer to an MMO than what Destiny is. In that kind of regard, like the combat and whatnot feels much less like a kind of generic first-person shooter, and more like thinking about, okay, these guys are a level below me, or a level above me, and you have to take that into account, take into consideration how tactically you want to play it, and as well later on, kind of where I'm at. Like I suppose where you're at, you've only fought like the cleaners, and whatnot. So the guys with flamethrowers. Whereas where I'm at, there's this group called the Last Man Battalion, and they're like a PMC, like private military corporation, and it's insane because they have all this tech and whatnot. So they can basically do all the same stuff that you can. Like they can throw down healing bags and stuff.
Oh, really? So
for
you've
their
got like
friends.
no
So you have
advantage
to
whatsoever.
actually you have to really think about what you want to do. It's cool.
Yeah.
And I really like the fact as well, like all of the abilities. I was talking to like a couple of guys that I run Destiny with as well. I've played a hell of a lot of that game as well. But all the abilities work in synergy with each other rather than just being for yourself. They all apply to everyone.
Oh,
So
cool.
everyone gets the benefit of them. So obviously you can have 2 abilities from any tree equipped at any one time.
It's interesting you say about Destiny, because I think a lot of people assumed it was going to be either you get the Division or you get Destiny, or you stick with the Division, stick with Destiny or you get the Division. And I don't think it's going to be like that at all. I think it's going to be more of an accompaniment to it, because they are similar games. But
Yeah, I still think there's room for both.
That's
do you know
right,
what I mean?
exactly.
But I think there's a lot of people that I've spoken to myself that have said that they're going to kind of stick with the Division to see what the new Destiny content is going to be like.
First of all,
Apparently there's going to be an announcement at some point today. So.
Well, the competition for Destiny can only be a good thing for the Destiny players.
No, that's it.
Right.
Definitely.
Right, well, tomorrow, it's today now, really, but by the time this comes out, it's going to be Hitman, isn't it?
Hitman, Agent.
Yeah. Episodic? What's your thoughts on that? I don't think it bothers me.
A
It doesn't bother me.
lot of people hate it for the simple fact of, and I understand obviously what they're trying to do with trying to prolong the existence of the game life as such, where you're not just going through it, completing it, and then trading it back in, or you're doing what you're doing with it. Like they're trying to keep that interest high in it for like the space of 2, 3, 4, 5 months for the episodes to come out. But I think it's a good spin on not introducing a season pass as such with a game, because you know if you're still paying your £45 for the game, you're getting the full game, but you're getting it drip fed to you, which is good for the people that like myself, like do all the side quests and stuff like that. So there's still going to be loads of content in each episode. So no, I'm quite for that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I'm quite disappointed that they've pushed the actual physical release back until January now, haven't they? So so that was meant to be out this year, but you're now not going to see it until January, which kind of sucks.
And there's no disc release at all. It's just completely download.
Until January, yeah.
Yes, until January.
Yes,
yes, but I mean, you can't like walk into a store and buy the first episode on a disc.
No.
And it's not as if you can buy a disc and it's only going to. You can only play the first episode and they're going to release it through updates. It's only downloadable.
That's what Minecraft done with their story mode.
Yeah,
with the season pass disc that you got.
Yeah,
I'm really kind of against the episodic medium myself. Like, I really don't like the idea of paying like the money for a game and not being able to play the full game.
Aye, even at your own pace. Aye, you choose to play it how you like.
Because like myself, I'm the kind of person when I get a game, I sit down and play it until it's done. I would rather just have the full game.
Could it be because of the game itself? For example, argument's like the last level, they haven't even started it.
Well, that's the other point that I was making with a few customers and stuff that wanted to pre-order and stuff in the store, was like with them announcing the release of the game, do you actually think that the full game from A to Z is totally finished, dusted, and you'd like to think that, see if it was, they probably would have sacked the whole episodic thing and just given you the game.
Yeah, because also as well, I mean, it allows them. It's kind of like a beta, isn't it? Really, they're using the episodes as a beta.
It's breathing time as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like, oh well, episode one worked really well, so we could implement this, and this into episode 4 or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And maybe tweak that a wee bit. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
I kind of hope that, obviously it's Square Enix to do Hitman, isn't it?
Yes.
So I'm hoping that it doesn't kind of transfer and they don't make it like a universal thing for all other games, because I mean they have so many titles, especially kind of coming out now. Like you get all the Final Fantasy games, even Tomb Raider as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Tomb Raider. Yeah.
Could
Miss Croft.
What we were talking about last week with games getting announced and the actual release dates getting pushed and pushed and pushed, could this stop that? Could this stop that rather than saying, argument's like Uncharted again has been pushed back? It's still the May
10th. Yeah,
May 10th.
Pushed back 2 weeks last week.
So rather than push it back, keep pushing it back, rather than, couldn't he split it up into chunks?
Just like, here's a little bit.
Yeah.
You could do, but then I think you destroy the whole mainstream media outlet in terms of releasing a game, because obviously there's Hitman not coming out physical, so you're not going to get a sense of a presence in the store of Hitman's actually been released. Do you know what I mean? So you're going to miss the whole artwork and people talking about it in stores because it's physically not going to be available until January. So
couldn't that then get combated by the Minecraft idea, by you actually release a disc?
well, you could do that, that could be a defo.
It's just, is there like a schedule for Hitman, or do we know like when the episodes are coming out?
Well,
because if it was a thing like Digimon, for example, right?
Yeah.
Come back to that one. It released in February, and what they have done every single week is have a DLC pack of like 3 new missions every single week for free.
Oh, that's quite sweet.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Like I'd prefer if you got content that way.
Yeah.
Because as well, it shows that there's a continued support from the developer for the title.
I know on Xbox Store that when you go to pre-order the Hitman, you've got like your $44.99 package, which obviously gets you everything. And I know obviously the first one says it's available as of tomorrow, and then your second one becomes available in April. But after that, it doesn't disclose when the further episodes are available.
Right. So how much the full thing is going to be $44.99?
Yeah.
How much are the single episodes?
As far as I'm aware, I think they're about $11.59. So say $11.50, 12 quid. So it's actually not too bad. Do you know what I mean? When you think about what you're getting.
$11.59 about on average of a kind of average DLC pack for like COD.
Yeah. Are they not saying there's about 8 hours worth of gameplay in each episode or something like that? That's
good then.
So if you think about games that was previously released, like even like The Order and stuff like that, do you know?
Yeah, I suppose you only have like 5 hours on The Order.
Yeah, well, you had Firewatch for 15 quid, and that was only 3 hours.
Yeah, I was happy to pay that, but I suppose it depends how long the episodes are and how much kind of replay value and whatnot the people that want to play Hitman will get out of it.
See, when we mentioned Uncharted earlier, the whisper is that Uncharted got pushed to May the 10th to allow Ratchet and Clank room to breathe a little. So there you go. So I don't think there's obviously any developer issues or anything wrong with Uncharted not being ready or not ready, good to go. I think they were worried that it would overshadow and bury Ratchet and Clank, especially when they're trying to push the movie and stuff as well. Do you know what I mean?
Actually makes sense, because I saw an announcement. It was actually when I was browsing Reddit a minute ago. I saw some guys saying that Ratchet and Clank is now for the 28th and 29th of April premieres, which is obviously when Uncharted was set to release. So yeah, that makes sense.
So we're good. And Ratchet and Clank's not releasing as a full 45, 50 quid title either. I think they're pitching it at a 30 quid entry level, so I think it'll be really good. So I think they're pitching it as like the game the movie based on the game based on the movie or something like that.
It's the game based on the movie based on the game.
That's the one.
It's like a rebooted version of the first one, and it looks fantastic. Like, see when they showed it last year at E3, and just the way it looks so nice. The kind of graphics there and whatnot, it just looks like an animated film.
Keeping on the Sony angle for a minute. We're obviously talking about Uncharted and Ratchet and Clank. PSN, Naughty Dog have changed their profile picture.
Yeah. The Naughty Dog official PlayStation account has changed their picture to a photo of Crash Bandicoot.
Mr. Bandicoot.
And that leads on to E3, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do we think that there's going to be another Crash game?
Oh, there has to be.
Yeah.
But they better make it like linear, like total, like old school Crash. None of this, like, know how they went down the route of making Spyro the whole open world idea and things like that.
Yeah.
No, for me. Let's keep Crash the way it.
Yeah, I'd love to have like Spyro and Crash like back to the kind of roots of how they used to be. But the thing is, it's like the whole Activision licensing and whatnot, isn't it?
I think so.
For both of them.
Yeah.
Remember the wee guy that you used to get up as like your wee power up, as like your extra life.
Burbaga.
That was the quality of that wee guy.
Yeah, little Juju mask.
It's a big part of my childhood.
Yes.
Crash Bandicoot games were great.
You can't beat him. Talking about things that retro games coming back. The 3D NES emulator. Have you seen much of this?
See,
not at all.
You spoke about this earlier, and I was so intrigued. I was like, I wish Nintendo would just give me a device where I can just play it wherever I am without owning a DS. And I know that sounds pretty cheap. Do you know what I mean? But like how Nintendo sits and stuff like that, I just wish they would go, do you know what? Have your Pokemon games and have Mario on your phone, do you know what I mean? On your phone format, your tablet, anything like that. So what's the emulator then?
Well, anything we talk about today, any links and stuff, we're going to put a lot of links in the description as well. So when this goes up onto YouTube, people will be able to have a look.
Sweet.
But if you've got access to Firefox, you click on that and you're able to have a wee shot. And it is it's as 3D as you want this to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's looking. There's a lot of memories coming back. Let's put it that way. I'm not going to say anything too much, and I want people to properly experience it. But I like I say, go to the link in this.
Sounds
The
cool.
description.
It's
Have a
like
wee
giving
look.
somebody a teaser trailer.
It is. It is.
I mean-
I'm not going to do it justice because
Go
sometimes
to the link.
exactly.
I may have to have a look because I know like I got most recently the Pokemon remasters for the 20th anniversary the other week.
What did you get? Red, blue, or?
I got yellow.
Oh, you got yellow.
But I did want to get blue because when I was a little one, that's what I had. I had
little one?
Pokemon Blue
Yeah.
on the original. Game Boy Color.
Long gone are the school days when you used to sit with your transfer cable and no, lunchtime's over because you need to trade me this
Aye.
before. Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I remember actually I had Pokemon Crystal as well, and that was the first one I properly played. I remember what I did with my Game Boy Color. I was in Safeway. Right? I was in Safeway with my Game Boy Color, walking around with it. Went into the toilet and left my Game Boy
Oh,
sitting in the sink platform.
Oh
Um,
no.
Then left, went back for it, and someone had nicked it. Someone had nicked my green Game Boy Color, my Pokemon Crystal.
Bad
If you're
times.
listening,
I-
you ruined my day.
So if you
Yeah.
find it, just take it into the Commonic store.
Do you know, like stuff like that would be awesome to get trending and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Return GC colour. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, that's it. That's it. What else is happening this week? Bit of sad news. Lionshead Studios, no more. It's packed it in.
It's
You've
quite
had the last
gutting, yeah.
team photo today.
That was almost like minute silence time. Like for me,
Yeah.
see when I read that, I was like, surely that can't be true. And then obviously having a wee read and stuff like Fable was like you mentioned Xbox or Microsoft in any breath, and quick to follow comes Fable. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So
Fable was like the first proper RPG I think I played.
yeah.
Again, I was probably too young.
I mean, I was, don't get me wrong, I was worried. See when they announced the Xbox One and they said, oh, Fable Legends, and you're totally buzzing, and then obviously Fable Legends never materialised. But even though obviously with the Xbox and the 360 and stuff, like you had that Fable as almost like your launch title, and then when Legends didn't materialise, I was like, there's something wrong here. And it got put back, and I was like, I can't believe now they've cancelled it and just closing the studio down.
Yeah.
Just 'cause I always had that in my mind, like Fable Legends, they were going to bring Jack of Blades back.
Yeah, and you're like,
That'd be awesome.
yeah.
Right. I mean, they're like, they're one of the British like production companies. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously you got things like Rocksteady and Rockstar.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's a sad day for all involved. Sad day for
Well,
all.
like even like the black and white games and stuff were
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
new and kind of different to.
I was very
Anything
different.
else,
I
it
remember
was-
playing that on the PC and stuff.
Also, because you had like your whole kind of even, well, especially black and white too. Like you had all your resource management and whatnot, and then you had like a kind of RTS element as well, sort of similar to Total War games. Where you had your platoons and whatnot, and you had to send them into battle.
Because even the voice actors as well as they got for some of the Fable games was cracking. I mean, there was a lot of
They had Stephen Fry,
Jonathan Ross.
yeah, Jonathan Ross as well.
Aye.
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 I can only think of two.
That was, we just hyped up there the amount of actors that they paid to do roles, and we can remember too.
Yeah,
There were
aye.
loads.
There was more than them just having a chat.
Good job, guys. Yeah.
Aye, good gang of lads. Right. Help me out, I'm stuck.
You're stuck.
Yeah,
What have you got
um,
next on your list?
well, there's also we've got the following on from the MTV things. We've got also the BAFTA games awards coming. Aye, so I think Leo's going to turn up see if he can get another trophy.
Could you imagine? Just puts on like a character costume and
Yeah,
yeah, that was
cosplaying.
me. What you
It's
talking
like-
about? Aye.
It's like Wolf of Wall Street Simulator.
Aye. Best cosplay ever.
Have you seen who's got the top nominations? If I said
Yes.
who's got the most nominations?
Everybody's got into the Rapture.
I'm not going to say that surprised me. Of all the games that released this year.
It's a good game. Like, I enjoyed it, and I thought the kind of voice acting and stuff and the backstories was worthy of it. I haven't looked at what they're actually nominated for though, so I can't kind of decide on that. But the music was really nice, and the kind of environment's beautiful.
See, it's just the whole nominated for 10 awards thing. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't he actually tell you? We've not clicked and checked the subcategories. We'll put it in a link though,
Yeah.
and we'll have a wee nosy. But I know The Witcher's up for like 7, so
Yeah.
obviously Game of the Year and all that. You'd imagine that they'd be up for obviously Game of the Year again
Yeah.
through the BAFTAs and.
See, I thought if one story would have ran away with it with the amount of nominations, I thought it probably would have been The Witcher. Even it's not my game of the year. I can understand why everyone
Yeah.
loves it.
Yeah, I'm
and
the same as that.
Yeah.
To be honest, I
mean-
never ever got too into it.
people are still playing it now. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Well, the DL, I mean, the DLC for the game is probably the best executed I've probably witnessed.
Oh yeah, I was just
in
like,
a long time.
see if you told me that was like $750.
Yeah.
What wasn't it? Like
Aye.
$750. It was just like absolutely crazy, like 40 hours worth of gameplay.
Yeah.
I think CD Projekt Red really kind of nailed it on that.
No,
Aye.
definitely.
Well, it's, The Witcher as well. It's got the same amount of nominations as a mobile game called Hair Story. It's a very interesting one.
Now, see, people might get confused there by your accent. Is it Hair Story or Her Story?
Her Story.
Her,
Her Story.
Her Story.
It's a
Her
lady.
Story.
It's a story about a lady, and it's very good. Once again, we'll put up a trailer in the link. No, it's a salon simulator. No, it's a story about it's a series of interviews, and you're a woman's interviewing about a crime that's been committed,
Cool.
and through that you've got to. And for a mobile game to be sitting on par with The Witcher,
it's pretty good.
Definitely, yeah.
so it's
What do
very
you think of that? Like mobile games
all right.
kind of coming out on par with
well,
console releases? What do you think about that?
A lot of them, a lot of mobile games are time sinks. See the amount of time.
Yeah.
It's Football Manager. Yeah, it's the amount of times that's giving me pins and needles when I'm in the bathroom. It's crazy. We'll leave it there. It's crazy. I'm already finished.
The only game that I play a lot on my phone is there's a company called Aspire that did a remaster. Well, not a remaster. They just ported Knights of the Old Republic onto mobile devices,
Right.
so you can pick it up on the Android store for £7.
There's a lot of Broken Swords been ported onto mobiles. Football Manager.
Yeah.
Boom Beach is
Boom Beach,
Yeah.
Boom Beach, yeah. I mean, I play all those like Boom Beaches and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I mean, like obviously graphically they're not, but they're there like, as obviously as you said they're time wasters as such. You know what I mean? Where you just lose hours and hours on them, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I was just playing that for like an hour and a half.
And
And
if you
That's why I
collected,
have my 3DS.
well, yeah, that's true. It's a handheld
Yeah.
essentially, isn't it?
it's just another generation. But they're saying like in a few years' time, you'll probably start seeing Xbox One and PS4 graphics available via your mobile, which I think is absolutely nuts. Do you know what I mean?
Well, sort of almost there. Like I can, I know it's not the same thing, but I can remote play like Bloodborne and whatnot on my phone and my tablet, and it looks exactly the same as it does on my monitor.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that could be possible in the next couple of years. Yeah.
I think it's quite crazy that considering that you can get that on your on your 5-inch screen. Do you know what I mean?
There's also as well with Hair Story getting 7 nominations. There are a couple of games that it's ahead of that wouldn't that's quite surprised me. Life is Strange. That's only sitting on 5 nominations in total.
Sort of
Again-
came out of nowhere though, like Life is Strange, like for the budget that came out on and the release that I was really impressed with that game. Thought it was a brilliant title to play. To pick up and play that, you're onto a winner there definitely.
Nah, I haven't played Life is Strange, but as I say, people have kind of recommended it to me and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm sort of between that and picking up the Heavy Rain Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah. 2 discs as well. Heavy Rain Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, I saw
So,
that.
yeah, it's quite. Nowadays, you just expect everyone to be on one disc. Yeah.
No
Yeah.
origami tutorial.
No
one?
origami. Feeling about that.
Bad
I'm
times.
absolutely raging. Absolutely raging. So if anyone wants to send in any origami, like stuff.
I'd much welcome
yeah,
origami.
yeah,
Aye.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's
If anyone can make a swan
yeah, right.
instead as that,
I
yeah.
can make
exactly.
I can make a goose. Look, I'll quickly show you my goose. Right? A goose.
There you go.
There you go.
Uncanny. It's
Yeah.
uncanny. It's uncanny.
If only you could see that.
Yeah,
folks.
yeah, yeah.
It's
It's
the best goose you'll ever see in your life, and you've missed it.
yeah. Also sitting on 5, alongside Life is Strange, is Rocket League. You just play much of that?
I played Rocket League. Yeah.
Oh, but I've seen some amazing gifs.
Oh, you've got to
That's
play Rocket League.
mental.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good fun.
Literally, I think I scroll through the kind of gaming subreddit, and every day there's something crazy happening on Rocket League.
Rocket League. Also as well, only 5. Batman Arkham Knight.
Now, see,
I lost interest in about halfway through as well.
Yeah.
I only lost interest because someone came into the store and ruined the story for me. That's the only reason I was like, oh my god, I couldn't even get out my mouth. Don't tell me because I haven't finished the story yet, and they'd already told me. I couldn't believe you just done that to me.
Bruce Willis is a ghost.
Yeah,
Bruce
exactly.
Willis is a ghost.
Aye,
There
Bruce
you go.
Willis is a ghost.
I really hate spoilers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Best Batman impression on you go, Kieran. Give us your Batman impression.
Batman?
Yeah.
Go on.
like, which Batman are we going for?
Christian Bale.
Best Christian Bale Batman?
Yeah.
Look at me!
That was
Right.
pretty good. I
Right.
like that one. Yeah.
Are we going round in a circle?
Ma-
Oh,
Michael,
it's,
yours is going to sound pretty funny though, is it not?
It's unlike.
Look at
What do you want to kill me? that was alright.
What's happening?
Alfred,
Yeah.
what's for dinner?
Yeah, that's alright.
I've got a problem with that. Got it. You go, do yours and I'll.
Rachel, where is she? Tell me where Rachel is. I thought it was alright.
That's, Practice.
Yeah.
That's good. I like it.
Shower, everything in the mirror. Is it that's my
Actually,
Oscar.
remember that Batman suit?
Oh yeah, our
Batman
Batman suit.
Yeah.
Hey, that could make an appearance this summer again if we're doing summer events.
Yeah.
So
I've already had my. I christened the Batman suit.
christened the Batman
Yes.
suit.
I was the first person to wear the Batman suit.
It'd be good
It's all
actually
on the
if anyone got in touch that's seen us in our Batman suit
Yeah,
last
yeah.
summer. That'd be pretty cool.
I put up your pictures of.
If you met Batman and Kamala,
we'll.
Or Irvin, yeah.
We'll.
Or in any of the stores actually.
We'll see what we can sort out. So from really bad Batman impressions, actually my problem with Batman. See, there's a scene. I think it's Batman Returns. The second one in it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There's a scene where he's in his Batman suit and he's actually in the Batmobile.
Mhm.
He's driving along, and like the little monitor on his car comes up, and he's talking to Alfred, and Alfred calls him Mr. Wayne, but he's still doing the voice. Now I don't know. Obviously, it's a small thing, but why is he doing the voice? Alfred knows who he is. He's called him his real bloody name. Just drop the gravelly stuff for a while.
What if
Aye,
like
you
Carmine Falcone's just looking in the window? It's like,
You don't want to drop your whole character though. You're in character.
Yeah,
Like stay in character. Just in case there's MD listening.
And there's also the part with like Mr. Freeze. There's a scene where they say, right, Mr. Freeze has got to stay at this particular temperature. He's got to stay at this exact temperature. Right? The next scene, very next scene, Arnold Schwarzenegger standing there in a dressing gown, slippers on, having a cigar. Surely that's going to raise his body temperature up. If you've got to say he's got to be so cold, don't have him having a fag.
yeah.
I'm starting to think you made it up. You know what I mean? I'm starting to think you made the whole thing up. Right. Speaking of things that sound made up, but it's unfortunately not. Professional gamers now have got to be doped. They've got to be screened. Well, they've got to be doped.
They might be.
Yeah, but they've got to be screened.
I read about that.
That's mental. For marijuana and what was the other thing?
Adderall.
Yeah.
Is it the right way? Well, look at the money that's getting ploughed into that at the moment. Do you think that's the right way to? It probably is the right way to go about it because the amount of money that's getting put into teams from Korea and stuff like that, League of Legends and things. Do you know what I mean?
Even Halo, like the entire Halo 5 prize pool for the most recent tournament was actually raised from the microtransactions for the game.
All right,
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure it was, if not all of it, a large chunk.
Right.
So it was about $1 million. Or so.
See, do you think that's nuts? You can win $1 million for being good at a game. Like
Yeah.
that to me is absolutely bonkers.
But there are people that like, you know, that way when I watch people play Halo and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm watching people play a game that I'm really good at myself, and then you just feel like you're absolutely terrible after you watch these people. It's just
like an absolute noob
crazy.
watching.
It's like online gaming makes you realise how bad you are.
Oh,
at
definitely.
I thought against computers I'm alright, but see, put me against real people. Oh my Jesus, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I've always had an idea of a game. What you were saying, it should be. I've had the idea where there's a free training of a game, and the training's free, and the training's free, and the training's free. And you train and train and train. But if you want to play the actual game, you have to pay. You've got, even if it's a $5, you've got to pay for one shot. But if you die, that's it, game over, right? And at the end, there's a cash prize. If you complete the game, which is say about 2 hours long, say 2-3 hours long, but there's no saving, there's no checkpoints, you die, that's it, your $5 is gone. I've always kind of, I don't know the logistics of that. I don't know if that's
I might break the machine.
Yes, it's possible. It's possible. But you die, that's it, game over. If you want to try again, you've got to pay another $5.
That would annoy
You need to log in with like your pro betting account or something like
yeah,
that.
I pretty much, yeah.
I've got my Willie Hill login details here, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would find that frustrating,
I don't know the logistics of that. I don't know if it'll work. But that's I've always had the idea of the game. It's kind of when I was playing the Metal Gear Solid VR missions, it was that type of thing that I thought that's interesting because you could play them, get really really good, and then you go into the game and die, and you think, how am I dying at that?
There's always going to be somebody that makes a loophole in that and then ends up obviously exploiting the game totally to paying a $5 and winning like £100 every 2 hours. That's not a bad way to make a living. Do you know what I mean?
I suppose.
Or that could be like, you know how you get people that claim to be really good at the claw machine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're wrong. Aye, because
they are
they
wrong.
put their arms in, they're like double jointed or something.
What are you talking about? There's skill in that game. It's not
Definitely.
just luck.
Definitely.
Now you got to think with a big nose, or like a no.
Pair of dungarees on or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that dungaree.
Yeah.
He's mine.
yeah, dungarees.
Aye,
There you go. So I think we're going to start to wrap that up now.
Was that us?
Really? Yeah, it's
Sweet.
exactly. Anything you want to contact us about? Any questions you have? Any feedback? Contact us through our Facebook and Twitter pages. We're going to be announcing a podcast on there using the hashtag GCPod. GCPod. I nearly said the old one, but we've changed it to GCPod.
GC Pod.
GCPOD. Contact us through that way, and we'll answer any questions, any feedback you've got. Also, as well, you can find it on Twitter. If you add me at Murascal, MRASCAL, I'm through used to, because I never said I was going to do that. Do you want to add your? No. Okay.
No,
Right.
I have like 4 different Twitter handles, so
Oh dear.
get confusing. I'll think about it next week then.
There we go.
Yeah.
Myself and Twitter are not friends at this precise
You're not
moment
friends
in
on
time.
Twitter
No.
anymore? You and Stephen Fry giving a boycott?
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, we are
There you go.
indeed.
That's
We're
what I like to hear.
holding hands on that one.
There
We're
we-
standing firm.
There we go.
Yeah,
That's-
until they bring out the fire hoses, then we're all good on
Nah,
that.
you
There we
should
go.
get Twitter for Jaden Smith's tweets.
Jaden Smith.
Nah. My mum's cola.
How can our eyes be real if medals aren't? How can medals be real if our eyes aren't real? There we go. Quote of the day.
That's why she never got an Oscar.
Yes.
Right, okie dokie. So that's us starting to wrap up. So I just want to say thank you from me. My name's Michael.
Yep. Thanks. I'm Kieran. See you later.
Thanks from Craig. Tune in next week, guys.
Yeah,
Cheers.
See you after. Ta-ra.